Hello, today I want to share something that I was talking about on a coaching call this morning in my group, which is prospect leadership and why it is so important to our confidence as a coach and to how we convert our clients, particularly if you're having, this is really about having conversations, or perhaps maybe you're doing Facebook Lives or webinars where you're answering questions about your services, how you can help people, and you're really looking to dive in there with someone who's raised their hand and wants to know more. So what do I mean about prospect leadership? Well, what I mean is that I want you to retain a level of leadership in your conversations, not in a way that is arrogant or, narcissistic or comes across as grandiose or anything like that. It's still meeting people where they are, but you maintaining a level of leadership in the conversation so that you don't become an interviewee, right? So when you're having the discussion, you want to be the leader, you want to be the expert, the person who's going to guide the prospect to their solution to their big problems. So in order to understand how you're going to solve their problems and demonstrate that you can solve their problems without giving them all your best stuff or without overwhelming them with information, without coaching them, and definitely without convincing them, is that you want to be able to dive in there first and uncover what the actual problems are. What are the symptoms? What's showing up for them? We need them to realize and be aware of what those might be so that they can be open to finding a solution. And what this does is it takes the focus off you having to convince or answer questions or, for want of a better expression, audition for a role as their coach or as the person who's going to solve their problems, right? So what many people fall into is that they lose that leadership in a conversation, and then it becomes them just responding and reacting to what the prospect has to say, rather than taking a step back and staying in their power, which is, I am the only person to solve your problem in the best way possible. Even if there might be other alternatives, go in with that mindset. Go in with the mindset that you are the best solution and that you need the information to uncover exactly how to solve their problem. Doesn't mean you then have to go into solving it all. Yes, open the door to your strategies and your recommendations, but do not lose that leadership position. It is absolutely imperative for your conversion, okay? So, if you get asked things like, oh, well, I want to speak to some of your clients, your former clients, or like one of my clients said to me today, they got asked for some details on case studies. And what I said to her there was, you can say, out of respect to my clients who've invested with me, I can't give you detailed case studies because they've invested in that solution. What I can tell you is the categories that I've worked in, and some of the people I might have worked with, but I really don't want them to be my marketing personnel. Like that, if you invested in working with me, would you like to be called up and asked time and time again about working with me? I can give you an idea of who I've worked with and give you some written testimonials. That's totally fine. And I'm also happy today to outline sort of the next best steps for you. Doesn't mean you're going to a big coaching session, but you're definitely not going to be having to dance around and write up case studies. Same goes for proposals. If people are going to have a conversation with you, outline everything that needs to happen then. It's up to them to take the notes. It's up to them to understand what it is that's what the strengths of what you do and the outcomes that you can deliver. At the most, sure, send them an email that outlines what you talked about, but by then I guarantee they've already kind of said no. Your biggest opportunity to get them to convert is on the call. So you want to demonstrate that the next steps are the right steps and that they can feel really confident and comfortable in moving ahead. Now, the only thing is, it's like your prospects or the people that you're having conversations, your prospective clients, will smell your lack of confidence, and it will tweak something in them to think that your service isn't good enough. So that's also why we have to stay in this position of leadership, of power, not in, as I said, an arrogant way, but in a way that is calm and confident and centered, because that will also set the stage for a conversion. We need them to understand why staying where they are is not going to serve them and why they need your help to move forward. The other thing that can happen and knock people off in this way is that they move ahead to an offer before the person that they're talking to, the prospective client, has really understood why they need the help and why they specifically need your help. So be careful not to move forward in a conversation before you can see that they understand the cost of staying where they are. That's really important. People are kind of like, well, I've only got 15 minutes and I'm going to jump on through. You need like little commitment points absolutely along the way, but you'll understand where they see how it's not working for them. And that will also help you come up with, as you kind of write down, kind of points about that to remember in the call. When you come to the end of the call, if objections come up, you can revisit some of those points that perhaps they've expressed where they're dissatisfied, unhappy, lacking power, wanting change. Okay? So keep that in mind, but more than ever, just be claiming your leadership. You are not it is not your responsibility on a call to, suddenly have to run around and convince them of everything. As soon as you move into convincing, you will sacrifice your conversion. Okay. So I want you to stay in that beautiful place of leadership with your prospects. It's really, really important, and it's really important for your confidence in your pricing and in your services, because it's the biggest reason why a lot of coaches will think that their market can't afford them or that they're priced too high. Okay, and that's because you are in a position that lacks leadership in the conversation, so that everything just comes down to price. And if you are priced at the higher end of the spectrum, then people just think, oh, it's too expensive, or oh, I don't have the money, because you don't have the connection that's pulling them into understanding how they need to step up and work with you and get a better solution. So it's all encompassing, and it's totally the mindset and the state of being that you need to be in when you're having conversations with prospects, or when you're showing up for workshops, or when you're on webinars. Okay. So see how you're showing up in a place of leadership rather than a place of convincing, and I guarantee you'll improve your conversions. Hope you enjoyed those little tidbits, and comment below if that resonated with you. Hope to see you soon. Bye.